The #1 midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Wow! You guys look like you remember who the you are. Yeah, that was awesome. That's a hell of a win, guys. All I can think about is, man, we've been forged in this stuff now. This has been 3 years in the making. Some of it 4. Like, that just doesn't happen. You got to work through it, grind through it, and go through the downs to get to the ups of where we're at. That was unbelievable, man. Division winners, back-to-back seasons, and the #1 seed. It was a total team effort. I got 3 game balls. On offense, 23 carries, 139 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 catches for 31 yards, 1 touchdown. Broke the franchise record for touchdowns in the season. Joe Gibbs.
Appreciate y'all, boys. Couldn't do without y'all. Love y'all. Let's keep it going.
On defense, 5 total tackles. All right. 1 pass defended, only gave 18, had 3 catches. Mr. Amon-Ra.
I mean it from the bottom of my heart, man. I appreciate y'all, man, because y'all gave me a chance to showcase what I could do when they tried to bury me, dog. But they can't bury what come from the dirt. Hey, let's get that big one, man. Let's keep on working, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
I got 1 more on defense. 7 total tackles. 1's quarterback hit, 1 pass defense. Welcome back, Alex Anzalone.
Hey, every time you get this is a team award. But defense, I'm proud of you today, man. I'm proud of the defense today. Just for y'all. Appreciate you. Love you.
It's a hell of a win, man. Back-to-back seat. What we've done is not easy. It's not easy. But I'm telling you what, man, we've said it all along. We got a special group, man. And this has been coming a long time. That's a lot of hard work. And we are the #1 seed with a bye, gentlemen. Great job.
Hey, be proud of this. This is just step 1. This is just step 1. We're on to bigger and better now. Proud of you guys. Love you all. 1 on 3, 1 on 3. Win. Put that jello on. Dog check.
Yo. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D.
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Alongside Sean Belizean, I am merely Neil Rule. Young Justin in the sound booth for KG today. Spencer Raxter, who's been putting in shifts here at Woodward.
Hello.
Producing the post-game show yesterday. Lions, division champions. Lions, #1 seed in the NFC. Sean, for me, because I was told...
Oh, boy.
I was told that the Minnesota Vikings and Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, who had the same amount of yards as I did last night. Jordan Addison, elite. Justin Jefferson, elite. 3 catches, 54 yards. They were regular. The Vikings are what we told you they were. That's exactly what we knew them to be. And Sean, it all played out the way that you said it, that I said it. Week 2, Week 8, Week 12, Week 17, Week 18. We saw it. We knew it. Fraudulent. The Minnesota Vikings, fraudulent. Sam Darnold, fraudulent. The greatest wide receiving core the game has ever seen, fraudulent. I got the receipts. I'm here all day, Vikings fans. Where are you in the chat? Step to the front of the line. You've been real quiet so far. Show yourselves, Mr. Belizean.
You guys, like, seriously, and we talked about this yesterday, and I said this, all right? I said this on our show down at Second Best. You guys have been all over us, in particular him, for weeks now. You have been all over us. And I had one request as I was pinching your little cheeks yesterday. Y'all better show up today. You better get in that chat, and you better take your medicine. because you talked so much shit the last month. Now, Neil, I'm going to give you proper attribution here. You give me proper attribution. We could do 10 minutes of I was told, okay? I was told, trademark Neil rule, that Justin Jefferson was going for 3 touchdowns and 275 yards.
Yesterday on the pregame show, we were told that.
That is what a maniac said to me. And you are a maniac. They had 3 field goals and 262 yards total. And now, listen, I'm not gonna back it. This is what you did this year is a product of the National Football League. It is. I'm not going to take that away from you. You have to play the schedule that you play, okay? Congratulations. You got that less than schedule. You ate. I'm not going to take that away from you. But
I am.
You can't sit at the big boy table. You came to Uncle Sean's house, and I put you over at the table with all the other little kids over there. Green Bay's over there. Have a great time with Green Bay. You can compare and contrast Jordan Love versus Sam Darnold. But, Neil, you said it. I'm sorry. You guys watched the same game that I did. The eyes don't lie. Sam Darnold remembered very quickly yesterday that he is indeed Sam Darnold. His eyes were like, you saw it. Like you literally saw it before the game. And then, most importantly, you saw it from their wide receiving core. All those times you were inside the 10-yard line, and he's throwing balloons in the corner of the end zone. It was there. You didn't want to see it. That's okay. Come take your medicine now. Come get your medicine. Just acknowledge it. Be a man. You talked so much shit. You really, truly did, you guys. So just be a man, and we'll all move on with our day. And I wish you nothing but the best in the playoff when you go to L.A.
And we have a ton of super chats flying into the Woodward Sports chat thread, so I just want to get these out real fast while we can. Eric Wall says, Neil, how unbearable will you be today? Discuss.
I'll be even more obnoxious, more overbearing, till you have no choice.
Crayons for Breakfast says 27 feet. Rando Smalls, never been prouder to be a Lions fan. We are on a mission. There can only be one. Burn in the Woodward Sports Chat. That was the kind of game where you need the old NFL film style music. And John Facenda.
Oh, John Facenda.
John
Yeah.
Facenda,
The great
saying,
John Facenda.
to help take on the Vikings, Detroit would call upon the help of a Raider, Amik Robertson. James says, hashtag pinch them cheeks. And then Daniel Bridger, both teams are who we thought they were. Our running back had more scrimmage yards than their quarterback had passing yards. Our running back had more touchdowns than their star receiver had catches. How dare they put themselves on our level? And then IT Hips with a 50 banger in the Woodward Sports Chat. Hey, Vikings fans, you have Sam Darnold and we have Jared Goff. It's that simple. Neil Rule. Thank you, Woodward crew, for this fantastic show. Let's go, Lions, baby.
And it was always that simple. It was never not that simple.
it really
and here's another thing, Vikings fan. Remember this. Through as cute as it was, Sean, pinch those little cheeks, as cute as their little run was, at no point in this entire season were the Detroit Lions not the boss. At no point. At no point were you not looking up at the Lions? Were the Lions not in charge? Make no mistake. This was the Lions division. It was their conference from week 1 all the way up until today. And it goes through next weekend. And the bottom line is this. The next time the Lions play, there'll only be 8 teams left.
You know,
that's it.
The best part about it, too, is Neil, if you remember, I mean, there were legitimately people that were saying that the Lions couldn't catch the Vikings when the Vikings had gasped a 1-game lead.
Yeah.
I want you to think about that.
Oh, I remember.
Those were conversations that we had here. I still remember one of the funniest things, and we have to call ourselves out a little bit. If I do it, I'm always the first guy to call myself out. I'd like to try to be, okay? And if you want me to go over my misses, I'll gladly do it. I don't care, okay? The Jahmyr Gibbs stuff was really fascinating when Monty went down, because you and I sat in here after that show and literally people were saying, I don't know if he can handle the load, man. And it's like, you guys, at one point in time in the National Football League, every running back got 25 to 30 touches a game. He's going to be quite fine. It's not ideal. Of course, I'd rather have Monty. But you're questioning a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs was a machine yesterday. And oh, by the way, the Alex Anzalone effect.
Oh, my God. I love that guy.
God.
I love that guy. Shout out to
Holy
Jason
crap.
Kenyon in the Woodward Sports Chat. He says, Sean, Sam didn't just sit at the kids' table. He was put in the high chair next to mommy. And then we
Uncle
had...
John's got a special treat for you.
He was eating Cheerios.
Yeah. Plain Cheerios.
Who's Uncle Sean's big boy? Who's Uncle Sean's big boy?
And then Tom Begman in the Woodward Sports Chat says, Neil was right. I was wrong. Give me all the time.
Oh, Tom, you're going to get it. And all the Vikings fans are going to get it because I was told that the Vikings were good. That's what I was told. Did that look like a good football team that
Not
we
a
saw
chance.
last night? Did that look like a good football team? Did that look like the most elite wide receiving room in the NFL? Because I didn't see it. I keep hearing about it. And then when they played in Minnesota with Justin Jefferson, like a regular ass, 80 yards, something like that?
83.
Just regular. That's all he's been. I hear about it, and I know he goes high in your little fantasy draft, so that's what you base your entire reality off of. Again, who goes a couple picks after him? Amon-Ra St. Brown. And hey, Jordan Addison. Huh? Well, big time. Jordan Addison's so big time. Oh, man. If only we could get a receiver like Jordan Addison. 0 yards in the biggest game of his NFL career. 0 yards. And you saw it, Sean. You saw it on the NBC broadcast pregame at like 8:05 when they're in the locker room and there's Sam Darnold looking like a train's coming down the tracks at him. You told me, Sean, the eyes never lie.
They don't lie.
They never lie. And Sam Darnold, there you go. So Vikings fans, good luck. Good luck in your future playoff endeavors, whatever happens for you. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure you'll have an excuse for it all. But remember this. You won't get that schedule again next year.
Nope.
The 49ers got it next year. They literally gave the 49ers your schedule. And you can cry about it all you want. See, Sean will say, I'll give you credit. I won't. I won't give you credit. You know how I know? When you lined them up with everything on the line, what happened? You got your ass kicked. 9 points.
You're a cute little playoff team.
9 points.
I mean, really, Neil. They're a cute little playoff team. Congratulations. You can't. I'm not gonna say that it was fraudulent because you took advantage of the schedule. Like, good. You weren't dangerous. Come on, you guys know it. Deep down inside, you know it.
And shout out to all these super chats. Again,
Yeah,
just
drop 'em
rolling in. We appreciate you guys. Steve DeYoung in the Woodward Sports Chat says the Vikings lost their own logo. Welcome back, Thor. Anzalone. Crans for breakfast says KOC spent 60 minutes in the hotel room corner chair watching Dan, Aaron, Ben, and 11 players at a time take turns having their way. And then Dante151 said, can the Lions just give Amik Robertson and Alex Anzalone contract extensions through 2030? Because they are dogs, and TA was a dog as well.
100%.
Can we give TA his love?
Can we give
the much maligned TA?
sir.
Can we give a little
Talked
TA's
his
love?
shit and backed it up.
Yep.
Talked his shit and backed it up, and I love that. And there's one thing that I want to point out before we die. We got everything we're going to break down, so many different things. Dan Campbell said it in his speech early into his tenure with the Detroit Lions. You just got to bring them out to that deep water. You hold them there until you drown them. And that's what he did. We saw Kevin O'Connell getting out of character. We saw
Yes.
Kevin O'Connell going for it on 4th down in the red zone multiple times because he knows.
And you could tell he didn't want to.
He didn't want to. He knows he's got a psychopath on the other side of the football field that's going to do it, and he's going to get the first down. So he's got to do it. And guess what? Lions defense stood up every time.
Spenny, I tweeted that out like in the second quarter. I literally, okay, we're rent free right now. All the signs were there, and Viking fans, I've been on the other side. You saw it. You didn't want to see it. I've been on the other side of that so many times in my life where we're hanging around. Where you suddenly became that which you weren't. Okay, multiple times because, as eloquently as only Spenny can put it, you have a fucking psychopath on the other side of the sideline.
Fox 2.
And all the... Are we?
No.
Oh,
Why do you do that?
But yeah, you scared. But no, listen, like Spenny, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
You watched it happen in real time. All of a sudden, they got in positions of uncomfortability and were taken out of that which made them what they were up to that point, which was a cute little team.
In the super chat, the real K77, big ups to Za'Darius Smith, bringing exactly what we needed. He is exactly what we needed at the time as well. No, 100%. He was extra. Like, you guys, this was the point. And look, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm gifted. Maybe I'm the light. I don't know. But I can see what other people don't see, perhaps. Maybe that is it. There was a level to this game, and you saw it play out exactly. But that's Vikings fans, though. Vikings fans can only look at what's on the surface. That's all they can do. They think the schedule's the same. They think everything's the same. They don't understand the concept of nuance. I can see the light, and all I can do is provide you the information. Then it's up to you, Vikings fan. But maybe now you'll believe that there is levels to this game, and it's a level you guys were not familiar with.
Did any of them pop in for all their mouths?
There's been a couple I've seen.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Ronnie something.
Oh, yeah. Where's Ronnie?
Ronnie was in there. He got his skull off, so shout out to him. And I got a Vikings fan to shout out in my Twitter mentions next, but we do got to go to break.
Yeah.
I know we could just do this 2 hours straight if we wanted to, but we do got to do breaks and pay bills. And shout out to these last couple super chats before we go to break. Ted Sauce 2 says, "Hey Vikings, nice $2 million in tickets you spent there in Neil Tone. Also, I was told JMO is a bust." And then we got Colton's Cardboard. He said, I just lost it. Breaking, Darnold leaving Vikings for new job, paranormal investigator. So shout out to all you guys. Keep sending those super chats and we'll keep reading them out for you. But first, I needed something to wake up today because I had a long night.
You ran it yesterday.
I had a long night. And of course, the only choice I could make was Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Sabbath Coffee Roasters, delicious, locally roasted specialty coffee dropped off at your doorstep. Just subscribe at SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription. Order SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Like I said, man, it's locally roasted specialty coffee. Support Michigan companies, and it's just the best coffee you can get. SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
What's up, everybody? Hey, shop.woodwardsports.com. Whole new football line. We got NFC Champions gear. That's right. They are the 1 seed, as a matter of fact. So roll on out. Check out all the new wearables. Shop.woodwardsports.com. We got it covered. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. The best in Detroit sports wearables. All right. Hey. How are you guys?
Super chats keep flying. I'm going to knock these out before we get into our next topic. We got... Where is it? Burn in the Woodward Sports chat. He says, and the touchdown goes to Jahmyr Gibbs, who just continues to assassinate everything that is Minnesota Vikings football.
Yes.
Paul Allen. And then you've got Freddie Felt 313 saying, I just filed a missing persons on Skull. And then Daniel Riegelberger says, stayed up all night watching the game here in Germany.
Yeah.
And then greeted at work with a rack of beer from all of the Vikings fans and Norwegian officers who bet me on the game. Go Lions. And then Charles Heiner says, hey, Minnesota. Nice offense, bro.
Yeah, cool.
Shout out Deutschland, man.
Neil, it's so funny. That's where I was when they beat Minnesota in Minnesota. If you remember,
yeah, that is correct.
I was watching the game in Germany, and you know what? It's one of those things. I was up all night for different reasons, and I don't know how many of you guys can relate to this, but the boys could. Last night was one of those I'm 10 years old again nights. It really was. There was no way in hell I was going to sleep. No way in hell. Now, normally after games, I think you get to a point in time in your life, you're like, maybe I'll roll down around 12:30 or anything. There wasn't even a half-assed attempt till about 2:30 in the morning. At about 2:30, that's when I was like, maybe I should at least lay down and try. But really, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about like what this team's doing right now. You legitimately I feel like a little kid. Like you have that, skipping your step when you wake up in the morning and everything. And I think what makes it so much better is man, Viking fans, I need to thank you. I really do. You've made this so much more enjoyable with your fucking mouths.
100%.
You really have. You've made this much more enjoyable. So thank you for that. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being that way. Okay? Now come and take your medicine.
Woodward Sports Chat Thread. You want to skip the line, jump in with the Super Chat. Chad Edmonds got some shade for you, Sean. Sean, I want to hear about what Sean Belizean has to say about that non-existent defense now.
Boy, is that taking something that I said out of context. Boy, holy shit. I got your shade for you. It was Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings, man. Like, come on. Like, you aren't being honest with yourself if you aren't concerned about what this defense is. It was great. It worked against the Minnesota Vikings, okay? Because the Vikings aren't that. But deep down inside, every one of us know, including the three guys in here, hey, guys, yeah, it's a concern when you lose that many people. I'm not talking about the context of beating the Minnesota Vikings. I'm talking about the context of winning it all. Yes, absolutely, positively, every single one of us should be worried about this defense. I have the balls to say it. But don't take what I said out of context, bro. You're better than that.
Woodward Sports Chat Thread, FGTW96 way in the Super Chat. Hello, Sean, a.k.a. Jack's dad. Looking great, repping the Spartans. You ever think back in the day that we are seeing a great Lions team?
No. Why would we believe it? Now, I did say this many times, okay? And I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this in the context of other teams. And Neil, you've probably heard me say this. It's all about getting the right people in place. And the beautiful thing about getting the right people in place is they have a tendency to get the right people in as well. Because in my lifetime, I watched the New Jersey Devils go from a Mickey Mouse organization to one of the top teams in the National Hockey League. I watched the Detroit Red Wings go from the dead things and darkness with Harkness to being the premier franchise. I watched the woebegone, what a nothing franchise, the Golden State Warriors. Like, Neil, what were the Golden State Warriors our whole lives? There was nothing there. I watched the Golden State. It's about getting the right people in place. So I refuse my entire lifetime, and I said this even through the misery of doing so many of those radio and television shows over the years. I refuse to believe in it's never going to happen. I can't. My brain doesn't work that way, man. It just doesn't work that way. It's about getting the right people in place, and gosh damn it, they got the right people in place.
Woodward Sports Chat Thread, Patrick in there, Addison wearing a neck scarf indoors. Tell me more about how elite Jordan Addison is, please. Please tell me more. Please tell me more, because I know I saw it last night. 0 yards. 0 yards for the, quote, best receiving core in the National Football League. I got flamed by people in Minnesota in their little Reddit posts and everything like that. Who was right? Who was wrong? I have the box score. You can go look at the box score and see those massive numbers, that great receiving core, going up against an injured, depleted defense that couldn't get in the end zone. Couldn't get in the end zone. Woodward Sports Chat Thread, jump into there. Skydog722. Neil, if the Vikings are frauds, what does that say about the Packers? Oh, we'll talk about the Packers in a little bit when we go around the NFL.
Eric Kelly Sr. with the super chat in there. He says, Eagles fans are talking shit now, talking shit right now about the Lions.
To who? They're not doing it in here?
Nah.
Because you see what happens to you here. Like that? Nah, bro.
We have to have a real honest conversation. Not just us, but I think most importantly their fan base about Jordan Love. It's high time to have that conversation.
No, they're cool.
It is really time to have that conversation.
No doubt. Jonesy, shout out to Meek, Levi, and obviously Anzalone, who absolutely balled out. Rando Smalls in the super chat. One question: Who's effing next? And look, we get to chill. We get to chill next weekend. I get to go over to my friend Sean's house.
It's huge. Dude, it's huge. It's huge. And this goes back to what we were talking about. When who was it? Was it you, Spenny, asked, is this defense good enough? Mm-hmm. You know what was imperative for this team? To get yourself a bye. Because maybe, just maybe, you get Anzalone back. Check. Okay? And we saw what an impact he has on that team. And then all of a sudden you can start having the conversations. Is he really coming back? And you know who he is, okay? Is he?
He looked like he's coming back on that sideline yesterday.
Is he really coming back? Okay, and that's exactly it. So you got one of those pieces back, and you get Aiden Hutchinson back. Well, then we have to have a different conversation. This is going back to whoever it was that threw shade at me. But at the time, no Anzalone, no Aiden Hutchinson. Hell yes, you should be worried about what you're dealing with. No doubt about that. But this is why it was imperative to get that bye. Neil, you and I talked about this a month and a half ago. Legitimately, this team needs this bye. They need that week. They need it even for the guys. Terry and Arnold's going to play. Thank God the X-rays were negative. But you know what? Get that extra treatment, man. Get that treatment. And so this team needed the bye. They got the bye. And I'm not backing away from it. For me, and I think for everybody in here, I don't want to put words in any of your mouths. This was Super Bowl or bust. Nothing was going to pacify me. And you know what? If you listen to those comments at the start of the show, sure sounds like the Lions feel that way too, and that's a beautiful thing.
Woodward Sports Chat thread, Justin Galena, don't rub it in too much. We haven't won anything yet. Justin,
We've won the North.
In the words of Debo, stop being a bitch and come on. Also in the chat. Discipler 22. Neil, what's your score prediction between the Rams and the Vikings? I don't care. It's not my concern.
31-24 Rams.
I'm probably going to be drunk during that game, so I'm with you. I don't let me know afterwards, after I come out of my stupor.
Yeah.
Who are we playing next week? I don't give two shits. It's beautiful.
No,
don't care.
Rams are winning that game.
I don't care.
Rams are winning that game.
Oh, I think so
Guarantee
too.
it.
Yeah,
I would rather the Vikings win. If we're being honest,
can you imagine?
Send them back up here.
Come on back
and see what happens.
Come on back.
Come back running to daddy.
Come on back. Come on back. Bring Sam Darnold. Bring Sam Darnold in the Ford Field again in a playoff game.
Dude.
In a playoff game where
fun?
If they win, and guys, you know what? All right, let's do this next segment. I got something here. I'm going off the script on you guys. Super chats, jump into there. Any chat you want to do. If you want to jump to the front of the line. Jay Washington, your Detroit Lions have swept 5 divisions in 2 consecutive seasons. Go Lions. So
that's incredible. Can we just for a second? Can we stop and just think about that?
Steve DeYoung says, "What a time to be alive."
Steve, you nailed that. It is no. How many times have we been tortured in our lives? For me, it was the Bears. For the younger generation, it was the Packers, okay? We've dominated our oppressors. My gosh. And they were our oppressors. Yep. They were. They've caused so much of my butt hurt in my life. They really have. And we've dominated them. Wow.
Mac 910, no, beating the same team 3 times is hard. Based on what? Based on what? You think Sam Darnold's going to come back in that building and beat this team? Based on... So, hey, I don't like to do this, Mac 910, but that's a stupid take. That's stupid. Based on what? It's hard to beat the Vikings. They win every division game they play. Pre-game show. Hey, we were out there. What? What, Sean? Hey,
it's the Vikings, man! Come on!
Sam Darnold.
Get that little toy and held it in front of the face. Give Daddy a smile.
Football Sunday yesterday. Tremendous success here at Woodward Sports. It all started with Woodward and Maine. Our guy Terry Foster was on with Kool-Aid 8 to 9 a.m. They were getting it in. They were setting the table. They passed the baton to myself and Sean Belizean for the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. We were live at Second Best, 42 Watson Street, like 10 hours before kickoff time, but we were getting the vibes. It's all brought to you by Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and it's the best pregame show in the business. You know how I know? Thousands of you watch. Literally thousands of you. Go look at the numbers. They're insane. As many people... Look, we'll say it this way. The watch party yesterday had half as many people watching it that were inside Ford Field for the game. Let that sink in, everybody. We're your only destination for a football Sunday. That's it. That's all. Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
1800 Tequila is the official tequila of the live watch party and post-game show here at Woodward Sports. They are also a proud partner of the back-to-back NFC North champion Detroit Lions.
And the #1 seed.
And the #1 seed. And 6-0 in the division. And they got the cool black team jerseys right there. Make sure you check it out. 1800 Tequila, the smoothest tasting tequila, and please drink responsibly.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for D-Mac. We got young Justin, we got Spencer Raxter. We have all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Get into there. Fire away, everybody. Thousands of you tapped in right now, and go ahead and get your shit off, man, because that's why we're here right now. That's why we're doing this. Like Burn, don't let the Vikings' annual failure, it is an annual failure, isn't it, distract you from the fact the Packers are 1-5 in the NFC North, and their, quote, young talent isn't improving. More on that later. Nick Lucido, our resident Giants fan. Vikings should have started Danny Dimes last night. They'd have been better off.
They would have been better off.
Man, Burns been on fire today. And Neil, I love that you drop based on what, because I don't think based on what is used enough. And I just call it bow. But I don't want to play a team 3 times.
I want to play that team. I want to play that team every week.
Can I get him again in the NFC Championship
and
game?
then again in the Super Bowl?
That'd be great. Because we'd have the greatest party. We've all dreamed about this party our whole lives. We'd have the greatest party ever. Hey, again, congratulations. You took advantage of the way the NFL is set up.
No, you see,
you are not a contender. You're not. Like, stop it.
There's a Vikings every year, Sean.
Every year. That's
every
what the
year.
league
Last
is.
year it was the Texans.
Yeah.
This year it's the Vikings. Next year it'll probably be the 49ers, even though we won't view it as such. But it will be. It'll be the 49ers because they got the Vikings schedule. They just pass it around. And it's a way the NFL uses to prop these teams up. And they do it masterfully because you guys all fell for it, especially you Vikings fans that are watching somewhere. I know you are. How's it taste? Jordan Addison, 0 yards. 0. Your vaunted great wide receiver that's better than Jamison Williams will ever be. 0 yards in the biggest game of his career. 0.
The NFL loves to sell hope.
They do.
They
and they do it,
to,
Sean. They do it in such a manner. They just twist it just a little
it's
bit
a masterclass.
to where we get to play the Bills and the Buccaneers, and they get the Jets, and they get the Falcons, and they get the Giants, and those are the only little differences. But right there, Sean, that's 3 games.
It's a masterclass. It really. So Neil, in that regard, I have to congratulations. You took advantage of the loophole, but you're not legit. It's okay. Both things can be true. Like the Denver Broncos. Congratulations. You got yourself into the playoff. And boy, you did it in big bad manner. You went to
Sean
KC.
Payton.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming. Like, what do you want me to say? Thanks for coming. Thanks for playing. And that's the same thing with the Vikings. And Spenny, I'm with you. While I don't care, I'd be shocked if they went to LA and knocked off the Rams.
too.
Like my jaw would drop. And that's when I would drop again based on what? What would make me think that Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings are going to go into SoFi and win that game? Nothing. Nothing. There's nothing there. And there'll be a cautionary tale for years to come, too. You know that. That's the worst part. Viking fans, you know deep down in your heart, you are going to be a cautionary tale for years to come. The 14-win team who didn't win a thing and went out in the first round of the playoff.
And shout out to Jason Kenyon with the Super Chat in the Woodward Sports Chat. He says, Rams and Vikings are playing to lose. Neither one wants any part of Ford Field in this team. Maybe overstated and don't care. 42-year-old lifer. So shout out to you.
Absolutely. Also, too, in the Woodward Sports Chat thread, Caleb Brewer with the Super Chat. I look back at what Dan Campbell said. We're going to get knocked down and we get back up. We'll bite a kneecap off for as long as it takes to be the last one standing. And Dan, I trust. I love the show. Caleb, appreciate you, man, tapping in. Yeah, shout out to you guys, man. You guys get this whole thing. You guys get this whole thing going. Nitty Gritty in the Super Chat. Purple is the color of choking. The Vikings, kings of choking. Clowning the Vikings with their stupid skull chant in Ford Field was awesome. Nitty Gritty, the Vikings were so on brand. And everybody was walking around this town terrified of them. Based on what? What have they done? For real, what have the Vikings, and I loved it too, the Vikings fans that were popping off in the pregame show yesterday and talking all the smack and talking all the ish. What have you done? Who are you to walk in here and say anything about the Lions franchise? What have you done ever? Some of the biggest losses in NFL history. Vikings losses, 15-1. The Falcons come in and beat them in the playoffs. But you're dismissed, Vikings. You're dismissed.
I told
Please.
you, I've always been a Kodiak guy. I've never been much of a Skull guy. I've always been a Kodiak guy. So,
Please.
It just, you guys, hey, it was a cute season.
Sean.
You had your fun. No.
Sean.
Neil.
Please beat the Rams and come back and see us. Please.
Oh, I want that. I want to pinch your cheeks one more time. I do. Like, Uncle Sean, do the baby talk to him. No, hey, you know what, Neil? This is what it's all about, though. I mean, here we are. We get to sit back and watch how everything plays itself out. And I go back to what Dan Campbell said last year, where people lost their shit over it. And you heard him bring it up again. It's not easy. It's the special team that finds a way to get back. It is the special team that finds a way to get back. Ask Joe Burrow. How many times was Joe Burrow and the Bengals going to be back to the Super Bowl? Don't worry.
They're sitting at home again.
Josh Allen might win one or two, and for sure Lamar Jackson's going to win multiple Super Bowls, right? And here we are. It isn't easy. Nobody wants to hear it. It isn't linear. Just because you did this doesn't mean you do that the next year. And this is a team that's played like it. Through all the adversity, through all the injuries, this is a Detroit Lion team where that message that Dan Campbell gave, not just to them, but in the entire fan base last year, resonated. They're playing like it.
Woodward Sports Super Chat, by the way. Mikhail jumped in there. Oh, let me give this stat, by the way. And the big bad T.J. Hawkinson, $17 million a year tight end T.J. Hawkinson, had 27 feet.
Can I ask, is there something wrong with him? And I'm not being funny. I'm not being disrespectful.
He's mid. That's what's wrong with him. He's mid.
He's gone like this, though. Can we say that?
Well, his salary's gone like this.
I know, but is there something like Spenny? Did you say that? He doesn't look like the same guy anymore, man? No. He really doesn't. I thought he was pretty good. I mean, when he was here, it was just like, that's the kind of weapon that you want because, the Lions went with another tight end. Giggle, giggle. Well, because it didn't work the other times, maybe you shouldn't draft any more tight ends. It was such a bad bit. And by the way, Sam Laporta says hello as well. But this is a guy, to me, Neil, that just in the last couple of years, is it wear and tear? Is it injury?
Is it the fact Sam Darnold's his quarterback?
That might have something to do with it, too. Ask a stupid question.
No. Sam Darnold's great.
Yeah, ask a stupid question. No, he does not. He does not look like the T.J. Hawkinson of the last couple of years.
Well, he had 27 feet receiving yesterday. 27 feet. Speaking of that, Mikhail on the Super Chat. Jordan Addison was held to 0 feet of receiving. 0 feet. 0 yards.
That's unbelievable.
You look like you got something to say, young Justin.
I'm just sitting here enjoying the show.
Oh, are you? Okay.
He's trying to sober up. Let's be honest. That's where we're at right now.
The Vikings fans, the only thing I do want to say is Neil, you would have been on another level if you were at the game. They were obnoxious. They walked into Detroit, act like they owned the joint. I did have one nice drink with one of them at a bar. But other than that, they were all up. They were just scolding throughout the streets. They were chirping people in the streets.
Please come back.
Everything that you expect an obnoxious fan base to do, they did.
Please come back. Please. I know it's so hard to beat them a third time. And we'll go through it again, everybody. That's fine. Woodward Sports chat thread. Art Vandalay. It's a cut the ish Monday. Yes, it is. Justin Galena. It sucks that you have to be so toxic. You're a bad representation of Detroit. Really,
Shut
Justin?
up, bitch.
Really, Justin? Because there's thousands of people that think this representation of Detroit is just fine right now. You can look and see, Justin.
That's just pussy shit.
I wish that we had the Spenny cam because, like, he went from being happy Spenny to just the angriest human. I was looking at him. Shut up, bitch! That was awesome, Spenny.
Spenny's in there. He's like,
he's
like, shut up, bitch.
He's having the greatest day of his life, thinking about what a great time he had last night, and then all of a sudden, shut up, bitch!
Guy Face in the super chat. Maybe less time watching High School Musical and more time watching film, Vikings. Yeah, so...
yeah, shout out to Rando Smalls in the super chat. He says, what matchup does Vegas want in the Super Bowl? Us versus Kansas City? 100%. That's what Vegas wants.
That's what matchup I want.
Jason Kenyon in the super chat. He says, AG kickback on the bench, just enjoying the day.
That was a leap. Do we have a screenshot of that?
I can get one. I'll get one.
We do. We got to come back.
If you are one of those people that believe in the script, and there are a lot of people out there that believe in the script, let's be honest. But if you are one of those people that believe the script, okay, that the NFL has their once scripted out, 1,000% it's the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. 1,000%. The woebegone, downtrodden franchise with the opportunity to knock off the team that can become immortal. Really, they can with another Super Bowl win by being the first three-time Super Bowl champion.
That's the smoke. I want it all.
They want it.
I want it all.
I'd love to be the team that does it. 1,000%.
I want it all.
1,000%.
First, I want to play the Vikings next. Yes. And then...
Can I also say I hope the Denver Broncos go on the craziest run in the history of mankind and go to the Super Bowl so we can beat them by 49 points.
No, that's fair.
I don't give a shit how it happens. I honestly, let the Broncos go on this crazy run, and then Bo Nix will turn into Sam Darnold and go, what am I doing here? I'm Bo Nix, and then we'll beat him by 7 touchdowns.
Detroit supremacy in the chat. Shut up, Justin. Quit being a cat. Just a fan. The refs did suck. They had a bad night last night.
Refs had a bad night for sure.
The officiating crew had a bad night.
You know it's bad. You know it's bad when both sides are doing it too. Because Neil, you and I, this is one thing that we have in common. I love to watch. More often than not say anything. Viking fans all over Twitter were crying over the officials. It was not a good night. Something's got to be done.
It benefited them. What were they crying about?
Something's got to be done with this play clock.
Oh, you mean the new 41-second play clock, Sean? That was enacted last night.
Multiple times.
It was, and I get it because I've heard this explanation. Okay, the guy on the field, it doesn't automatically match up with what you're seeing on the television, and in a wink, wink, nod, nod manner, they are more apt to give a team
a heartbeat.
A heartbeat. Okay, that wasn't a heartbeat. That was a second or two. That's deplorable. It's a bad look. To me, it was a bad look last night.
Eric Kelly Sr. in the chat. I love Woodward Sports all the way from Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. Shout out, Eric. Appreciate it. There.
Thank you for your service, Eric.
That was 7 minutes left in the game. It was over. He knew it. Sam Darnold knew it. Jordan Addison knew it.
Oh, man, it's beautiful.
It was over for Jordan Addison before it even began.
Shout out to Soccer Night in Detroit. He says, Uncle Sean reminds me of Coach Klein and Waterboy. Great Lakes 24, retracted his message that he sent, but just type it in normally in the chat and we'll read it for you. And then Rando Smalls in the Woodward Sports chat. I did say 5 years ago before we traded Stafford that it's in league's best interest for the Lions to be relevant again at all, and here we are.
All right, we're super late for the break, and I promised a topic that's off script that I want to get to because I just do. Just trust me. You guys are going to like this one. Lady Jane's.
I'll tell you about Lady Jane's. At Lady Jane's, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. Just walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
Tully, everybody.
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Guess what, everybody? And for the Vikings fans that are up in the UP, I was told you guys took advantage of this, and you bet your $1,000 first bet on the Vikings, but guess what? They lost. You knew they were going to, but you got it back as a free bet because all you got to do is scan the QR code on the screen. Make your first deposit using the promo code Woodward1000, then make your first bet all the way up to $1,000. If you lose it, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. It's like a do-over, everybody. You get another shot at it. And if you bet on anything on the Vikings, like Jordan Addison, having a yard, Justin Jefferson's over, any of it, if you bet on it, you know you lost because they stink. But, hey, you got it all back if you use a promo code Woodward1000. The app is clean. It's smooth. There's no glitching to it. You want to update. If you're a live bettor, it updates in real time. It's got all the markets out there. You want to be a degenerate like Spenny, get a 10-leg UFC parlay, go ahead and do it. And you can do it with Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
Couple super chat updates.
Yes.
We got Burn in the Woodward Sports chat again saying, but those 2 points for the intentional grounding no call against the Lions was going to be the difference in the entire game. And then we got Bo Gargius saying, Vikings fans are feeling like a business owner who has been paid with counterfeit currency and fake checks for the last 3 years and finally took it all to the bank and received the bad news. Skull.
Can I say this, though? We lived this life. We did.
Oh, yeah.
Neil, you and I, when we were younger, we lived this life. Can I give you an example? The Detroit Lions had this magical season in 1991, a season that guys like Neil and I still pontificate about every time we get a chance, right? And then in 1992, what happened? Well, we lost a couple of linemen. We had a first-place schedule, and we won 5 games. Then we got the easy schedule again. You're never going to believe what happened the next year. We were back on top of the division.
Yes.
But then the first game of the playoffs, we were exposed by some guy named Brett Favre, and we were out again after hosting a playoff game. This is what the National Football League is. And now, more so than ever, because now you add extra wild cards to it. Now you add an extra game to it. The National Football League wants to keep you engaged for as long as possible. for as long as possible, okay? And there are many people not that long ago, losers like Spenny and I were at our phone constantly doing mock drafts in mid-December. So even then, they got the bad teams. They've got the New York Giants excited about Shedeur Sanders wearing giant-colored sneakers and things like that. The National Football League is larger than life. They own you. They own me. This is what they do. And they got you, Viking fans. They got you. They absolutely got you. KOC 2 years ago. Then what happened last year? Then this year. That's the National Football League. You weren't able to step up to the big boy table, and you're left accepting pinches from people like Uncle Sean. I hope to see you next year, big boy.
Woodward Sports Super Chat, by the way. Crayons for breakfast. Can we get Doc Pierce to confirm if Sam Darnold has one ass cheek and three toes? Yes,
Wow.
we'll ask Doc that tomorrow. Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer.
Greatest name in the chat.
Should have known that was going to happen Sunday after the Minnesota basketball team got buried by Cade on Saturday.
Facts.
They did.
Back-to-back L's for Minnesota against Detroit.
Hate to see it.
Dude, you know the Pistons are a half a game behind what the Timberwolves are right now?
You're goddamn right they are. All NBA that, man.
Right now.
All NBA that,
Don't be a
man.
coward. Also, in the Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there. Sam Darnold. Neil, I was told by Vikings fans that our defense was trash. Was I lied to? And if not, what does that make them losing 30-9 against a trash defense make them? It's a great question.
Oh, man. Aaron Glenn, I love you.
Real quick, I did want to shift the discussion. Do you realize, Sean, that the next time the Lions play, half of these teams are going to be gone.
Yeah.
Their seasons will be over. It'll be the Rams, the Vikings, whoever, whatever. And I bring up the point earlier about fans that are scared of playing the Vikings three. It's hard to beat a team three times. Do you realize that the next time the Lions play, it'll be a home playoff game for a chance at the home NFC championship game, the NFC championship game at Ford Field. You think last night was a circus, and young Justin, you were in the building. By all accounts of everybody that I've talked to that was in that building said it was extra, even extra from last year's playoff run.
100%.
The vibes, all of it. Can you imagine, Sean, when the Lions play their next game, it's a home playoff game for the right to host the NFC Championship. I'm getting goosebumps talking about. It's real, Sean.
Neil,
this is real.
Neil, you know what? I think there was so much that happened last night. We have to remind ourselves of things like that. Tony Dungy is not one for hyperbole, okay? You heard what, well, you didn't, Justin. You were at the game. Tony Dungy said just before kickoff, did you guys catch that? He goes, I've been doing this for 16 years or whatever the heck it is. And he goes, I have never heard and felt something like this. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember and again, to me, consider the source, because he is not. We live in
He's won a Super Bowl.
Right. We live in a media environment now where everybody we need to talk about legacy. We need to talk about this is the greatest thing and that's the greatest thing. He's not one to do that. I think Dungy hits the nail on top of the head more often than people want to give him credit for. But because he doesn't have that vivacious personality and he's not screaming and talking like this, he's not going to get the respect that he deserves. When he said that, I listened. When that's a messenger, I'm going to listen, because that's not his gig. It's a different vibe here in Detroit, man. I've seen it. I've lived it. You compare it, even when I tell anybody who will listen, that Monday night game going back to 2011 when Jay Cutler pooped his pants. Literally, you could check his pants. He pooped his pants. It was so loud.
Shout out James Houston.
Shout out his pants. But that was, I'm telling you, that was something different. And now we're living that. Good luck coming and playing in that atmosphere.
There was a general understanding yesterday that they were going to win that game. I don't think there was any Detroit fan in that stadium that thought there was a chance that they were going to lose that game to the Vikings. The way that the Lions fans interacted with all these Minnesota fans who came in and acting like they owned Detroit, and no one cared. They just laughed at them. Like before the game, like some Minnesota Vikings fan like tried to get in my face. I just laughed at him. I just laughed him right off. And then they're leaving after the third quarter. You know what a great fan base, not even staying for the whole game when you drop $1,000 on ticket. And as they're leaving, you just see the waves of the skull chant start from the aisle and just work their way into the whole section. And by the time that they're halfway up the rows, skull, skull.
That's so
good. And
good.
everyone is just giving it to them just like they deserve.
That's so good.
Woodward Sports Super Chat. Owen Mullen drops in. Greetings from Lakeland, Florida. Been a Lions fan since I was a teenager, going to my first Lions game for the divisional round. Love watching Big D energy.
Shout out to you, Owen.
Yeah, shout out to you, Owen.
Way to go.
Oh, that just
That's awesome.
the vibes. Lots of talk. I'll sum up a whole bunch of messages here. Justin Galena earlier. Lots of talk about Justin Galena and Minnesota Vikings and the cuck chair at a hotel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get any deeper than that. That's just what they've been talking about.
For sure.
Who was the guy yesterday? You used what was the guy's name that said Aaron Glenn, head coaching candidate?
Was it Tyler?
Can he show up again? Because
weirdly, he's not here.
You dropped his. Never mind. But listen, you guys, you're adorable. You really are. Like, you Viking fans have been adorable for a while now. And I made the crack yesterday. I said, this isn't Sean speaking. This isn't Neil speaking. Google is your friend. You can pick up your phone. Do this at home right now. Type in 3 words in whatever search engine you want. Aaron Glenn candidate. Because there was this thing, Neil, and a lot of it came from what you were saying about the receiving core. And I don't know about you. Neil looks pretty good right now about that receiving core, but that has been discussed. But you guys don't know football. What are you talking about? You're elevating everything. No, those aren't my words. Aaron Glenn being a top candidate for multiple places. I didn't report that.
For 2 years now.
Yeah, I didn't do it. Why are you mad at me? The misguided anger.
Google me, baby, you crazy.
Right. Yeah, dude, come on. That's the kind of stuff that kind of boggled my mind. It's like, you guys, honestly, we're relatively new to this, okay? Let's be honest. The Lions are new money. We're new money. And I have no problem with it. But right. We've watched how other people live for so many years, so we have a much better understanding than you do. We really, truly do. And fact check yourself. Before you say dumb things, fact check yourself. And I think that was the issue with so many of the Viking fans that you spoke of, Justin.
And I just want to say because we do I'm trying to keep us on time as much as I can. Before we go to break, Rando Smalls, another super chat in the Woodward Sports Chat. He says, how long before we get a Super Bowl at Ford Field? It was just amazing. Tev Sauce 2 in the Woodward Sports Chat, super chat, says, what do the Vikings schedule and Joy Taylor have in common? They both suck to get where they are. That's not my words. Not my words. And we do got to talk about the quarterback coming up. Because Jared Goff made one of the best plays I've ever seen him make in a Lions uniform yesterday. And I want to talk about Jared Goff's performance. But first, we do got to go to break. Tell us about Second Best.
You guys already know. We were down there at Second Best yesterday. Shout out to them, by the way. They were awesome to us yesterday, as they always are. And look, we do the Woodward Sports pregame show there on game days. As we get the information in the game times, we'll figure all that out, and certainly we will let you guys know as well. But guess what, everybody? If you're going downtown for a Wings game, a Pistons game, say you want to go watch them kick the piss out of Minnesota like we did all weekend one more time and see Cade get 40, stop by Second Best. It's just a couple blocks away from LCA. If you got a concert, if you're going to Fox Theater for something, it's right there, everyone. It's right in the mix. It's a perfect spot. They got perfect food and all the good drinks you can want. Great bourbon selection, by the way, as well at Second Best. Guys, again, it's one of Detroit's premier pregame spots. Second Best, come get some.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Holland. Neil
Holland.
Rule for New Holland. How about that? New Holland Brewing Company, local Michigan company over there on the west side of the state. They make the best drink
So damn
in drinking.
good.
Taller. How does it work? Well, they take the New Holland small batch gin, they mix it and scratch it with a little grapefruit puree, and magic happens in those incredible Argyle-style cans right there, known as Taller. A ton of you have reached out. Some of you said during the pregame show yesterday you were trying them for the first time. You guys know the magic that is Taller. One by one, you're all figuring it out that it is the best drink out there. By the way, don't sleep on New Holland's bourbon, by the way. The beer barrel bourbon, the toasted barrel, all of it. Elite as well. It's New Holland, man. They're doing it right. Michigan company. Keeping it. It's hour number 2 already.
It's crazy.
Flies.
No way.
It's almost like we're having fun or something.
It is.
It's almost like our team just clinched a division in the number 1 seed in the NFC.
You know what else it's like? It's like Spencer brought up Jared Goff's name. And it's almost like Stick appeared out of nowhere, and look, there he is.
Did someone say Jared Goff?
Stick, I got to ask you. And by the way, great work. By the way, I'm Neil Rule. That's Sean Belesian. We have Spencer Raxter, young Justin in the building. Stick, the host of the Woodward Sports postgame show that was electric yesterday.
Oh.
And
dude, 5,000, 6,000 live.
Yeah. Oh, is that beautiful?
Absurd. The whole thing's absurd. Yeah. Jump into that chat. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Just one of you is going to be our 76,000th sub coming up here in just a couple of minutes. We're gaining about 1,000 subs every 4 or 5 days. Like, this is incredible. This is what you guys want, apparently. Enough of the flagship station, enough of that dry network TV stuff. We're in here doing it, and we appreciate you guys. We're in here doing it because of you.
How about enough of scared media?
Yeah.
How about some media with some balls?
How about that?
Because you hear the players talking about it. You hear them say, we hear those negative people in the media. You know they ain't talking about us. Because we ride or die for the team here. That's the whole reason this thing got incepted, because we were sick of hearing the negative. They shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do that. They'll never win. It's the Lions. And that's all you heard all week, too.
How about this, Alex Cobb? Hey, Neil, at the end of the day, we can all rest well knowing the Vikings had to kneel down to end the game. And then in the chat.
Dude, there's the surrender cobra, and then there's the defeat position. Like, the defeat formation. How often do you see the defeat formation?
Rarely.
They bent the knee to the kings of the north.
That's what they did.
And for anybody,
they paid their tribute and took a knee.
For anybody wondering what's on my shirt, it's the entire kneecap speech from Dan Campbell.
Available at shop.woodwardsports.com.
Yeah, and I just put up 4 new sweet designs
Bethany's
today.
even looking over going, where can I get one of those? Go to
and shout out to Charles Annister. He just ordered our very first belt to ass NFC North champion shirt.
Belt to ass. Hey, celebrate the entire belt to ass line.
Yeah, the belt to ass line is coming. But man,
what's up?
I said it like jokingly coming out of break because I saw Stick in the chair and I wanted him to haunt the stream by saying Jared Goff. But truly, Jared Goff, that play Jared Goff made. He didn't have his best game. Even Stick will tell you that. He'll tell you that. He had a couple bad plays. The offensive line wasn't doing him any favors for a lot of the game. But he also made plays when he needed to. That 4th down throw, 4th and 6, need it. Pivotal point of the game, free rusher. Metellus, nobody touches him, going right at him. Jared Goff off his back foot, sidearm throw, hits J-Mo in stride to get the 1st down. That's one of the best throws I've ever seen him make.
Because it's an elite throw?
Yeah.
It's an absolute elite throw.
Can I go back to Connor Cook? And I think this is one of the great things that I love about how Jared Goff has changed the narrative.
Jared Goff?
And he had there. Hi, Stick.
Hi.
You know what? He doesn't have a memory anymore. Like Spenny, I loved Connor Cook.
Yeah.
The guy was just a big dumb oaf who would make a dumb pass and just go, "Oh, I guess I'll get him next time," right? Like, really? I mean, that's what he. And you know what, Jared Goff? There were 2 passes to me yesterday. The interception, the one that got tipped, he puts a little loft on that.
Big
Reynolds
play.
is running for 35 yards.
play.
Okay,
Yep.
the 4th down play, the same thing. People go, "What the hell are you making that?"
J-Mo was wide open.
It was there.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit, and you know what? Instead of going, "Well, golly gee, I guess it isn't my day," like Sam Darnold did, he went out, sharpened his dagger, and slit some throats.
Could there have
Much
been
love, man. Much respect for that stuff.
Could there have been a better way to win a football game? Like, this is, if you were to draw up how a football game as a fan should play out, it's tight through the first half. You're still emotionally invested. Oh my gosh.
This could go either way.
This is a good game. I'm entertained. And then just the slow bloodletting, overtime, death by a million paper cuts. And next thing you know, you're up by 21 points. They haven't put a touchdown on the board. There's so many things to go over. I just wanted to talk to you guys today. First of all, because I love this show and I love you guys. But second of all,
Love you too,
like,
Stick.
should be in here pounding my chest. But I literally just feel like, all right, next assignment.
Yeah.
And we get 3 days to celebrate this. That's what I'm giving myself. 3 days of just bathing in Vikings blood. Just all over. I absolutely love the tears. I love the blood. I love the blitzkrieg when you mix it all together. It's just an amazing feeling. But after these 3 days, it's on to the next one. And these guys, the regular season does not matter anymore. And that was going to be my take, whether they won or lost. Like, hey, cool, regular season's over. Reset. We're 0-0 right now. Time to go.
3
and the
wins
way
left.
it played out, Zadarius Smith getting his 17-yard sack. Jahmyr Gibbs. More Gibbs means more Gibbs, which is a good thing. A lot of people were scared. Getting Anzalone back. Just so many good things came out of this game. Now you get 2 weeks off. You're going to get more people back. Everybody
Half the
seems to be
teams will be
back on
gone
the
when you play again.
Yeah. And everybody's back on the bandwagon, and it's just it's such a like, these are the good times, folks. Enjoy the shit out of this. Enjoy the shit out of this. Call your friend. I called my best friend in L.A. on my way home at 3 a.m. last night because I knew somebody would be up, and I had to call my boy in L.A. And you know, it's my best friend since I was 4 years old. Shout out Wellington, and we were able to talk about just how we shared it with our dads, and like it's such a special thing right now, and I can't believe we get to be a part of it on this level. Super Bowl parade is coming down Woodward, guys.
No,
Start standing there now. Go camp out now.
I'm glad you brought that up. And Owen Mullen in the Super Chat, by the way. National media has run out of Lions hate narratives. At first it was a Hutch injury. Then it was Dan Campbell's 4th downs. Then it was the injuries again. Finally have to admit that we are elite. No, that is the case. And by the way, to kind of back up, Stick, what I was talking about earlier, where you understand when the Lions play again, it's to host the NFC Championship if they win.
Yep.
You have already been working behind the scenes, and this was a month ago.
Had to.
Listen to this, guys. Super Bowl parade broadcast planning. It's real. It's a real thing.
He just gave me goosebumps.
Stick.
Like, legit.
Stick.
Look at this.
Yeah, Stick is setting this stuff up right now. Like, guys, this is real. And I think we're still, a little high on the euphoria. I think the Ansons of the world, we're a little fired up about it.
He was very fired up.
But guys, I just want to get that. That's going to be my main overriding point, other than the fact that Sam Darnold sucks and Jordan Addison is just a regular mid receiver with 0 yards last night. My other point is this. 60 minutes away from the NFC Championship at Ford Field with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now.
Confetti falling in Ford Field. Confetti in Ford Field, guys.
60 minutes away from the NFC Championship game. Do you understand this?
I have said since before Spenny was born. I'm serious. Do you know when it would get real for me? And just hearing you two bring that up brought me back to this. Do you know when it would get real for me? I can't do the endless 6-hour pregame show on Super Bowl Sunday. I can't do it, okay? Usually there's a hockey game on. I watch a hockey game, so I'll tune in about 4:30 or whatever. And you still have 2 hours to kick off. And I'm listening to the bevy of people and all the, hey, wow, look who happened. Here's the star of our show. Yeah, make sure you get. When I hear them talking about other teams, I swear to God, I've done this for over 30 years. I sit back and envision, can you imagine this guy from some sitcom I've never watched?
And never going to watch?
Sitting there talking about my team, the Detroit Lions. That's when it'll get real for me. I swear to God, in that moment, that 2 hours before the game, when you're watching that pregame show that you have no business watching. You have no business watching that game. And now you don't have to because we're going to be doing some kind of a show, so you can be watching what we're doing on Woodward. But when you're talking, when national people are sitting there talking about your team and your team being 60 minutes away from being a Super Bowl champion, that's when it's real for me. And just hearing you talk about that, Stick, like, it's not that far down the road, man.
Sean, it's 60 minutes away.
It's not that fucking far down the road.
What's today? Today is January 6th. It's a month and 3 days away. 4 weeks and 3 days. The Lions will be playing for 4 weeks. Think of how fast 4 weeks goes by.
In 13-ish days, they will kick the ball off, and you will be 60
So what
minutes
did you
away
say, a
from
month and
hosting
3
the
days?
NFC
A month and
Championship.
3
Okay, so a
days
month and
till the
4
Super
days, I
Bowl.
will do a dance on my grandfather's grave. So that's pretty cool.
We've all got our personal stories.
Yeah, that's. I'm going to do a dance on his grave. So that's cool.
Before we go to break, I got a couple more super
Yes.
chats here to
Super
get to.
chat!
In the chat. Shout out to you guys, man. Pumping those super chats in there.
They're like Lil Wayne with the Winn-Dixie bag full of dollars,
they
man.
Sure are. Crans for breakfast says, "A Stick, Vikings spent all game on their knees." You got Great Lakes 24 said, "Vikings are hoping Washington will win so they don't have to return to Detroit for another ass whooping." That's if they win first. But before we do anything else, this is the fastest show I've ever done in my life. Let me tell you guys about Mark White, because if you're looking to buy or sell your home, maybe you want to move out of that shit poverty city of Minnesota and come to a city that wins NFC North championships in Detroit. You can do it. Mark White will save you up to $5,000 your closing costs. You can visit him at markwhitesells.com or call him at 248-290-8242. Mark White will get you in your dream home today. Mark White should be your first choice when you're looking to buy or sell your home.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for FeldmanAuto.com. There's 18 Feldman Automotive dealerships in and around the Metro Detroit area. We know about Feldman Chevrolet and Novi because they're Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer and the nation's #1 EV dealer as well. But what if you want a Ford? What if you want a Kia? What if you want another brand of car? It's very simple. The playbook remains the same. Go to FeldmanAuto.com. You can search the inventory. Hell, you can even start the buying process online if you so choose. It took me an hour and a half to get my car. It was an hour and a half from, hey, I'll take this one, to here's your keys, Neil. An hour and a half for a car. Think about that, everybody. Guys, that's it, man. We don't want to be sitting here wasting a whole day getting our car. We got to have them anyway. So when you do need a car, go to FeldmanAuto.com. We're back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Sean Belesian in for D-Mac. Happy to have thousands of you with us right now.
I love when Stick comes in. I do. It just
changes the physiology in the room.
It really, that's the best way to say it. I'm not even going to add to that. That's just, the physiology of the room
It just changes. We got young Justin in the building as well. Young Justin, what are you looking at on your phone over there, man?
I mean, it's a busy day for the social team. I mean, we just beat the Vikings and clinched the division, so I have a million things that I have to post. So I've kind of just been locked in on that.
I got you.
I had to do my KG rule. It's an ISO day. I don't got to do shit.
You give me the pill.
You got the pill.
Let's
ball.
Let's be honest right now too. You know he's binge watching Jets Wings the other night. He is
Rewatching.
I see that mahogany in there.
It's
There's
also
a little wood
so
sticking out. I know what that wood is.
Because all of my teammates from my hockey team called McClellan a meme coach, and specifically my friend who's a Jets fan, who's my roommate, and so I gave him a little bit of the lickings for that game. So.
And shout out to the super chat
Yes.
still coming through here.
This one's great.
In the Woodward Sports. Yeah, you got James in there, and he says, Neil's tone is like grated Parmesan on my salad. I will never say when. and you got,
I do. Like, when I'm there and I got pasta or whatever, and they're grading that cheese, I don't say stop because there's enough cheese. I say stop because everybody's bored.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the guy. Like when I see the beads of sweat coming down, it's like, all right, now I'm just being a dick. We're cool, bro.
We're cool. Although I do want more.
Detroit Fitness Nerd in the Woodward Sports chat saying, your guys' thoughts on our defense against mobile quarterbacks?
I think this goes back to what we talked about a couple weeks ago, or last week. Spenny asked, can this defense get it done? And I didn't hesitate to say no. But I'm going to say this again. This is pre-Anzalone. At that time, I answered the question as he asked it. Anzalone wasn't back yet. He's back. Getting Aiden Hutchinson back would be huge. We're all aiming for the Super Bowl, obviously, and so is he. You have to be scared of it, don't you? I mean, come on. If we're being honest with ourselves, we've seen, we saw that bum for the Bears for 2 years give us fits. Mm-hmm. We did. We saw Justin Fields give us fits. Scared isn't the right word. I'm not scared of anything anymore. That's a wonderful feeling. I think that goes back to what I'm not scared of anything, really. I'm scared. No, I take that back. I'm scared of the NFL giving a wink, wink, nod, nod to the Kansas City Chiefs, but we'll worry about that when we have to get there. But I don't know what's scared is it. I don't know if that's the word, Neil, but yeah. Running quarterbacks have given this defense a little more difficult time than other guys.
I just like to do what I always do when I get asked a question like that. I work backwards a little bit. Okay, so when you say running quarterback, i.e. you're talking about all the usual suspects, right? Lamar, Mahomes to a degree.
Josh Allen. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Is that that's what you mean when you say that question?
Yeah.
I don't care because I'm not going to see any. I'll see one of them max. See, like, we got to remember the orbit we're in right now. We can only play one of those big bad ghosts that you're concerned about.
Where do we put Jalen Hurts, though?
They got their little push play.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. I don't consider him like a running quarterback.
He moves, though. He moves a little bit.
No doubt.
That's why I don't put him in that level, but no, I get you. No, that's a great point. And the fact is you're only going to have to face one of them.
Max.
And they're going to win the AFC, right? KC's going to win the AFC. We all.
I would like to see it.
I think they're going to win the AFC.
Yeah.
How about this, Sean? Aaron to the stone. Neil, I'm being 1,000% serious here. I just teared up hearing you talk about the potential for a Lions Super Bowl parade. I'm from Grand Rapids, and you best believe that I'll be there. No, Aaron to the stone, like, this is real. That's the point I'm driving at here. And it's closer than I think we even realize right now. Again, the Lions have a bye week. The following week, they will play at home. If they win that game, the NFC Championship game will be at Ford Field in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, the NFC Championship game. You know what that cute little 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock start that they use for just Championship Sunday? Yeah. That game will be at Ford Field. If the Lions win one more game, the NFC Championship game will be at Ford Field. And the Lions will have a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
I love championship weekend. I'm sorry. I've felt this way for 40 years.
I do too.
It is the last weekend where it's all about the football, okay? Because Super Bowl Sunday, as we were joking about earlier, it's about, hey, look, Spencer Raxter just happened by. Spencer, tell us about your new show that will be debuting on CBS. I might.
Well, it's called Broadcaster 6, and
Right.
it's chronological of my career as a broadcaster.
It's the bells and the whistles and the stupid commercials and all of that. There are so many things that are not about football. Championship weekend is all about the football, and so that's become a special place. And the fact that the Detroit Lions are going to be part of championship weekend 2 years in a row is pretty cool.
No, but Bern, every time I say it, I feel it too. Like, for real. I feel it too. And I'm glad that Stick said, man, that gave me goosebumps when you said it. Because it's true. It's absolutely true. Bern, and this is a good segue to what we're going to get into next. We're going to take a quick spin around, the NFL yesterday, because there wasn't a lot going on. Like, I felt like the NFL was over yesterday, except for the Lions game.
At 4 o'clock, it sure was.
Holy shit! That was tough to sit through.
I was trying to pregame at a bar in Detroit, and I literally.
You're trying to watch a game, but you just can't.
No, it was embarrassing how bad these games were. Honestly, like they should have just not even played them. Like
just call them off.
Just give them ties. I don't think it affects the standings anyway. Just give them all ties. Who cares?
Burn in the super chat. When are the big, bad, scary Packers supposed to take that leap beyond being a 7th seed? That young talent's as mythical as the Tigers' prospects right now. That's a good comp. I keep hearing about it.
Thank you.
And then I look, and they're 1-5 in the division.
We need to have that conversation about Jordan Love, because I have a very realistic Packer fan friend, and there aren't many of them. Like, it's not happening. Like, really, he had that cute little stretch last year. Give him some props for that cute little 3-4 week stretch. And I saw some things that made me go, okay, it's not happening. There is nothing special about that guy. I'm not even being funny. There's nothing special about that. And I think Packer fans better come to grips with that real soon.
Owen Mullen, if the Lion in the super chat, by the way, jump into there if you want to skip the line. If the Lions make the Super Bowl, will you guys be traveling to New Orleans? I don't know the logistics on that yet. That is something that will be.
I want nothing to do with it. No, can I tell you why? No, I'm serious.
And I know why.
For years, I always said there's no way in hell I'd miss that game if the Lions were there. I'd have to be there, okay? And now that, like, you guys, let's be honest. There's a realistic chance it could happen. Neil, I want to be at home. I do. I want to be at home. I want to have some friends
talked about
and family.
this with my friends group too.
Seriously, that's it. That's my moment.
I have to watch the game with my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
my moment with a very special group of people and if you all want to laugh at me and call me a puss, go right ahead. Not if, but when I burst into tears, they're not all going to laugh at me, because there's no doubt in my mind that that's going to happen.
For sure. I cried last year when we won
I might just go in the other room and let it out for a couple minutes and then come back in and pour beer all over myself. But I don't want that in public. That's my moment.
Woodward Sports Super Chat, Jason Kenyon. Thanks, Dick. I just ordered a Belt to Ash shirt. You know what? Spenny, let's take the break. Yeah, I want to go off script again and I don't know what it is. Is this like setting in with everybody? Like, as we talk about this, the goosebumps are on my arm.
Yeah.
And you know what? For real, can we just take a segment, because it's real, and it's here. And what are the plans? For real, we get to have this discussion, bro. This is real. This is real, man.
I joked with you guys. Thanksgiving for me. And you don't realize it as you're doing it. I was never home, ever, on Thanksgiving for my kids. It was always come home at 7:30 at night, and that's when we had Thanksgiving dinner. And the last couple of years, you know what? It's become my kids. Like, that day is my kids now. Now, granted, we're all watching the Lions game together, but it's not Dad has to go to do this or Dad has to go do that. I'm going to use the same. This is mine. And Neil, it's yours, and it's Spencer's. You do what you want.
Because you've been through it.
Yeah,
you've earned that.
You do what you want on a day like that. And we have to start thinking about things. We do. You do have to plan ahead and say, how am I going to run with this? Because now there's a legitimate shot that It might come to fruition.
And where was it in the DNC ENT says, so what I'm hearing, no Super Bowl watch party? No. There will 100% be a Super Bowl watch party, and I 100% will be on the call. But my dad's going to be in the room, too.
Yeah,
No doubt.
I'll be there as well. My dad will be. I mean, maybe my dad sit with Spenny's dad and we'll have a family section because I'm gonna be at Woodward watch party and I'm in the same boat as Spenny. There's no way in hell I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it that I will not watch that game with my dad.
Art Vandalay in the super chat. You can't bury a MFer who came from the dirt. A Meek Robertson best quote.
That is the greatest quote. Good call.
That is a bar.
Good call, man.
Let's go to break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about some realities setting in for the Lions. But first, let me tell you about Jars Cannabis. All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of recreational cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations are right here in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. And if you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready. New stores are coming your way soon. Make sure you check out Jars Cannabis. Jars Cannabis, the best name in cannabis.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Are you overdue for a new car? Beat the holiday rush and get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, you can get a Blazer EV2 LT with all-wheel drive, only $149 per month, or an Equinox EV LT for only $169 per month.
Shout out.
Get to Les Stanford today, or click on the QR code on the screen and check out their amazing inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale. LesStanford.com.
All right, I hesitate to do this because Spenny almost got me. I'm not going to lie. And you don't even know it, Spenny. I think you did because we kind of locked eyes for a minute there. Pause. In the chat, Lions Detroit 35. Woodward Sports making grown-ass men cry. So what? So because it's real.
Yeah.
Because it's real, I want to talk about it.
No doubt about it.
And just for me, because like my buddies and I always talked about if they ever made it, we would go. And then this year, about 3 weeks ago, we were like, you know what? No, we're going to the house, all day affair. Dad's coming over, parents coming over. Like, you know, Spenny said it. He's like, I'm gonna watch it with my dad. And after all that the fan base here has been through, that day is for you to do however you want to do if it happens. And damn it, yeah, I want to talk about it just for a segment, Sean.
That's your day. It is. That's your day. And I'm with you guys. I'm envious. You know, my father passed away 4 years ago. I wish my dad was here. Because as you guys said, there is not a snowball's chance in hell I wouldn't be watching that game with my dad. Now, my dad and my relationship, we'd be mocking each other the whole time. And that would be part of the bit, because he told me many years earlier, much like my grandfather, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. This is a life of heartache. And I refuse to believe in the totality of forever. My brain does not work that way. As we discussed earlier, you get the right people in place and everything. But my goodness gracious, Neil, yes, you do what you want that day. Like really, that you've earned that, okay? While we're all loving this franchise, right? And we always have. Let's also not forget all the horrors that they have shown us. All the things that they have put us through.
They didn't love us back for a long time, yeah.
Based on that, you do whatever the fuck you want to do that day, man.
Rando Smalls in the Super Chat. A smaller group of us will enjoy a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue when we win, and a toast to all those who didn't make it. You feeling it, Spenny?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna cry. I know I'm gonna cry. I know who I am. I cried after our first playoff win last year. It's gonna get me when it happens, and I can't wait. It's gonna be the best day of my life.
I'll never bitch about him again. I hold me to that. You guys, I'm serious. Hold me to that. I will never. That's it. Like that's it. I'll never bitch about. Now I'll get frustrated. Sure, that's what being a fan. But I will never bitch about this franchise again. That's out the window. You do it once for me. That's it, man. That is it. And these are real conversations we can have, guys. They really are. They're. And think of all the other times, even for the older generation, Neil, guys like us, 91. I was there 33 years ago yesterday, okay? That was just the beginning. It doesn't even matter what happens this year because this is the beginning. And they never won another playoff game until, as you mentioned, last year, Spenny. I mean, we went through that thing. So in that regard, for me, Neil, we've never been in this position. We won the division and hosted a playoff game and lost to Brett Favre, but it was always, can we be the hot team? The team that got hot at the end of the season. The team that's playing the right way. No. We are the prohibitive favorite at home with a place that has a massive home field advantage. So I don't think it's premature to start planning ahead a little bit. I don't feel guilty about it at all. Normally, you guys know me. I'm normally the guy going, whoa, okay, pump the brakes a little bit, pull back the reins. Nah, not right now. You earned your way to that number one seed. You earned the bye, and these are conversations and plans that at least in the back of our head, we better start getting together.
John Mayer, I'll probably take my entire bottle of Xanax the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl. How about this one?
Your body is a wonderland, by the way.
Angelica White, stop talking about the effing Super Bowl. It's bad juju. Guys, we're past juju. You think Penei Sewell cares about juju? Like juju, vibes, all of it?
Hey, did you guys watch the beginning of the show? Do you remember what Spenny played? And Spenny, I'm not going to ask you to rack it up again. To a man, that's what the guys are saying. Mm-hmm. To a man. Everyone is saying that. Job's not done. 3 more to go. There is nothing wrong with wanting more. And I think forever, we as a fan base, we've been so beaten, we almost feel guilty for wanting more. And that's why at the beginning of the year, guys, we all said it. We sat in here on a 9,000 degree day in August, and I said, anything short of the Super Bowl is failure.
Yep.
And everybody agreed with it. Not one person argued with it. And I'm not going to back. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it. That doesn't mean that we didn't enjoy what happened last night. That doesn't mean that you didn't enjoy the ride. But when all is said and done, the ultimate success or failure of this team is strictly going to be, did you win the Super Bowl, Y or N?
Yes.
That's it.
I love Y or N.
But that's it. Y or N. Did you win the Super Bowl? Y or N. And if you say yes, then gosh damn it, it's a success. And those guys are the ones saying it even more so than we are.
Yeah, we've said it all. I think we preached it all year. Super Bowl or bust. Either you win the Super Bowl or your season's a failure.
That's the water we're in.
And that's the water we're in. We're at the big boy table.
We're
at the head of the big boy table.
That's right.
Little Vikings.
And the Vikings are sitting over in the chair in the side of the room that faces the bed.
Eating Cheerios.
Look at Uncle Sean's got the airplane. Big boy throws football. It's so adorable.
Sam Darnold's got the little yellow plastic bowl, the little one where he reaches in and like can never grab just one Cheerio. And there's like one stuck to his hand, and like he just puts it into his mouth, and most of them fall down onto the floor. And you got to clean it up later, so you're kind of pissed, but it's a baby, so you can't be really pissed.
I told him,
and then he chews on one.
I told him he was a big boy, and his eyes got really big, like he's at the game, and he starts going like this because he knows he's Uncle Sean's big boy.
Jordan Addison's sitting in his high chair with just loose SpaghettiOs on the tray in front of him. Yeah, just a tray full of loose SpaghettiOs.
The sauce all over everything. Like his shirt, you can't even wash it out.
It's like the 1-year-old birthday where you give them the cake and they put their face in it, and there's this cake all over their face. It's so adorable.
Oh, man. Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there, and lots of emotional stories from the people in there about it. And it is. And when this happens, we're going to have a show that's going to be a little tough to get through.
Yep.
Oh.
We're going to have a show that's going to be a little tough to get through. Laugh now because you'll cry.
I don't. Yeah, I see. That's one thing I didn't think about. I'm thinking. My brain is thinking in terms of fans. Can you imagine coming in here the day after the Super Bowl? Wow, dude.
Yeah.
I might throw myself out in traffic and go, hey, life isn't going to get any better than this. I'm just rolling straight out into Woodward and just firing my corpse out in the middle of traffic because it's, wow, I didn't even think about that. I couldn't even imagine. I don't have words. I couldn't imagine sitting there talking about something that has been an obsession in our life, sitting there and talking about it being reality.
And we are, by the way,
Wow.
I talked with Stick. We're going 24 hours. 24-hour post-game show.
Oh, gosh.
We're doing
it.
Like a telethon.
Oh, gosh. My goodness gracious. Yeah. Correspondence everywhere. People just coming and going. And those are some of the fun moments, like back in the day, doing the shows after Red Wing wins and things like that, being on till 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And one thing for people out there that don't realize this, it's amazing what happens at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and the people that you hear from. Because I can tell you definitively, we had some Red Wings just kind of call in while they were partying and decide that they wanted to join the show. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if some of the lines didn't dial in. And or hey, you know what? I'm blown over to Maple and Woodward, and I'm just going to pop my head in because it really is. It's going to be like the Jerry Lewis telethon. It's just that there are going to be a bunch of us that are just coming and going for 24 hours straight. It's going to be epic.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to shout out to all these super chats. They're still coming in. We appreciate all you guys. Rando Smalls says, I disagree. If we go to and lose the Super Bowl or NFC this season, it's a win because the team will be in the same place next year. No. Season's a failure if you don't win the Super Bowl. Flat out. Mikkel Dunlap in the Woodward Sports chat. This is genuinely one of the best organizations I've ever seen in my lifetime. Big shout out to this team. Burn in the Woodward Sports chat. We are the #1 team at the end of the regular season for the first time since Bobby Lane was our quarterback. Drink up, Bobby. We ain't done yet. You got Justin Preston in the Woodward Sports chat. Hey, guys, lifelong fan since 92 here in California. Defense played great, but do non-divisional games still scare you in the playoffs?
No.
Via the last Niners game? No. Owen Mullen in the Woodward Sports chat. Can you imagine Dan Campbell on the stage holding up the Lombardi trophy and choking and tearing up? I got tears in my eyes just thinking about it.
Jesus, man. All these angles everybody's throwing in, man.
Right? Yeah, who was the one guy? Randall Smalls, I don't know who it was. But somebody said the Lions are the best franchise in football.
Yeah.
Can we call a quick timeout? Let's put this in perspective, okay? At no point in time in our life would somebody dream of saying something like that.
Mikkel Dunlap.
As a matter of fact, and listen, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, and I bet you Neil knew this, and I bet you even the kids knew this. The Detroit Lions were generally regarded as one of the worst franchises, tone-deaf franchises in all of sports, where they not only alienated their fans, but they alienated a lot of their former players.
Yeah.
Former players who told me with their own mouths, I never thought I'd come back here. And when I say that, now I'll never throw the names out there, okay? I'm talking about prominent Lion players who are synonymous with the Detroit Lions, told me with their own mouths in recent years, I never thought I'd be back here, because that's how badly they felt jaded from this mismanaged and poorly run franchise. To hear you say that and not have the ability, logic, or reason to argue with that, that hits. That the Detroit Lions are one of the best franchises in all of sports. And to go from here to there in such a short amount of time, it's truly remarkable to me. I can't say enough about how mind-boggling that is to me, because, guys, I saw it up close and personal. I did. It was just a poorly run franchise. That didn't mean I'm not getting personal about people, because there are people who I still consider friends that were part of that franchise. But A didn't know what B was doing, who didn't know what C was doing, and D didn't know A or C. It was just a poorly run franchise. That's mind-boggling to me, and you're not wrong, my friend.
No, absolutely. All right, let's take the break then. The watch, let the fans watch. Tens of thousands were watching last night.
Tens of thousands were watching last night, man. The live watch party and the post-game show live from Hayes Social are the spot when you want Lions coverage. Woodward Sports is doing it better than anybody in the state. And, of course, they're both presented by New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and 1800 Tequila. The live watch party and post-game show here on Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza signature wings, man. They dropped them off at the watch party last night. We had the buffalo, we had the lemon pepper. 7 delicious different flavors for you to choose from. My personal favorite is the spicy garlic, but you really can't go wrong with any of them. Try them all and choose your favorite for yourself. Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. To find one near you, go to Sorokis.com.
All right, we're almost done.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I cannot
work,
believe
everybody.
it, dude. I just 12:42. What the bleep?
Yeah, absolutely wild. I guess we can talk about it. Just looking around the NFL, and some of the big news is, yes, we're already starting to see it. The teams want to contact Aaron Glenn. They want to interview Ben Johnson. All of it. And we knew that this day was coming, Sean. And it appears as though that it's here right now. Spenny, do we have I know the Bears want to interview Ben Johnson.
The Bears have asked to interview both Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. The Patriots have asked to interview Ben Johnson. We know the writing is on the wall for the Saints and Aaron Glenn. I'm all if I had to put my life on it, I would, that he'd be a New Orleans Saints head coach next year. But I don't know if they've requested an official interview yet.
That's why it's so important to do it this year. If you want to do it when the band's all here, it just hits harder. It does. And these guys purposely put off opportunities last year. I think What an assassin. What an absolute. He has just murdered 78 people 2 seconds beforehand. Look at that. But no, all jokes aside, like we all knew that these guys, one in particular, decided to come back because of the unfinished business. And Neil, this is where I can tell you, this is what happens, unfortunately, with the good franchises. I go back to when the Dallas Cowboys were just on the cusp of winning the first of 3 Super Bowls. You knew that Norv Turner was going to be gone. You knew that Dave Wanstedt was going to be gone. You knew that Butch Davis was going to be gone. They are going to go pluck from this Dan Campbell tree, and it's going to happen sooner rather than later. So the sentimental part of me, Spenny, now. Let it be now. Let these guys, because in my mind, they'll always be Lions. You win a Super Bowl, Ben Johnson, I don't care if you go torment us for years in Chicago. Well, actually, I will because it's Chicago. But I hope you understand my point. You're always going to be Lions. You're always going to be part of the most special championship team that any of us will ever see. So that's another reason, an added bonus, if you will, Neil. Let it be this year.
Yes. The Bengals have fired their defensive coordinator. The Jaguars fired their head coach. And just a quick spin around the NFL, Sean. What'd you see yesterday? It was the most disappointing. I didn't even engage. For real. Like, I didn't even engage. Like, because the games that mattered, I guess when you look at it, the Broncos game mattered. They beat the Chiefs 38-0.
It was over in 13 seconds, too. That game, you knew.
And then the Tampa game, they played with their food for a little bit, but then they won. That was kind of cool. They got Mike Evans his yardage. I thought that was neat.
No, that was a nice play. I was of the opinion I wish that they would have fired on the Seattle Rams game because obviously that was at the time we knew, okay, well, this might have some bearing. But those 2 games that were on, that Denver-Kansas City game and that Jets-Dolphins game, were just gross. Ugly. It was, so absolutely gross. And how about Aaron Rodgers? He is friend to all now. You want to talk about a character arc? I don't know. Did you guys see the end of the game, what he did with Pam Oliver? He did an interview with Pam Oliver, okay? And then he smiled at the camera, gave her a big hug, and said, "I love you, Pam." And I was like, who is this guy? What are you,
He's getting ready to run for office, man.
What are you doing? But, and then the questions, because we talked about it on the pregame show yesterday. Can we he didn't have an awful year. He really did. He had 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He's mid.
He's a regular quarterback.
He's a regular quarterback now. Guess what? It's over. It's done. So, at this point, could he go play for somebody else next year? I believe he could. Not at the contract that he has. No way in hell. But I'm telling you, and Justin, I know you were at the bar, so you had to deal with it. Those 2 games that were on at 4 o'clock were awful. That was embarrassing for the National Football League. It really was.
Yeah, I tapped out of them, like literally. Dante 151 in the super chat. Hell, there was an Eric Ebron sighting last night at Ford Field. Can we confirm that?
Yeah,
there was. Yeah.
Yeah, Ebron was on the sideline.
Dan Campbell took a picture with him.
Okay.
Are you serious?
Yes.
On Ford Field before the game, also shout out to ESPN Mexico for picking the Lions to win last night. So shout out.
Some sort of the national media actually can get it right, unlike NFL Live.
Yeah, that is true.
But the games were so bad. I just want to say one thing about it. I place a touchdown parlay every single weekend. Just one 6-leg touchdown parlay. Put $5 on it. It's a weekly thing. Didn't do it this week because the games were so bad.
They were, man.
Like I wasn't even willing to gamble on them.
And I don't know that there's a way to fix that.
No.
There were like 4 games that were relevant, but really there were only 2 because the 2 games that played out where the team had to win and they were in, they won and they were in, and it was over.
Yeah.
All of it was over. Like the whole house of cards fell down.
You know what they should do? They should, for the because the flex isn't going away. We all better get used to it and everything. I think you could do a better job of the flex. Of course, the Sunday night game was the Sunday night game. It was arguably the biggest regular season game ever. Like I don't think that's an overstatement.
Nope.
It was arguably the biggest regular season game ever. But you could almost space them out a little better.
Yeah.
You could almost space it out a little bit better.
Yeah, it was It was rough. It was definitely a rough go. All right, let's take the last break, and we'll come back and wrap this thing up, if you can believe that. Planet Fitness, everybody. We're live at the Planet Fitness Studios, and I was back in there on the grind, getting it all done, all of it. And Planet Fitness is the best gym in the gym game. Through the contact, misses the shot, but he will go to the line to shoot a pair. But again, it is the best gym in the gym game. It's one of the best values in American consumerism. A black card, $24.99 per month. You go to any Planet Fitness in the world, over 2,600 of them. There's over 50 in the Metro Detroit area alone. Clean facilities, tons of weights, tons of cardio equipment, stretch stations. You got your press for time. They got a 30-minute circuit that you can do as well. It's all available to you at Planet Fitness. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights. The weights weigh the same at Planet Fitness as they do at that gym you're paying $90 a month for. So what are we talking about here? PlanetFitness.com. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
How do you think you won? Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Dr. Pierce, our injury insider. He'll be on tomorrow. Hey, will there be anything to talk about with Dr. Pierce? Yes, there will be. We'll see what's popping with Terry and Arnold and what's going on there as well. I would imagine they're going to be pretty tight-lipped with what's going on.
They already, Dave Burkett reported that he's going to play in the division.
Yeah, the x-rays were negative.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll talk with Dr. Pierce about it, no doubt. We always do. His visit's powered by the Michigan Sports and Spine Center, MRI of Southfield. And look, if you're a weekend warrior, he can get you straight. He saved Aaron McCarty's career. He can help you, get back out there for your weekend hockey games or whatever it is that you do also. Scan the QR code on the screen or give Dr. Pierce a call. Dr. Pierce, our injury insider, right here on Woodward Sports. Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Sean Belizian in for DMAC. I'm Neil Rule. Happy to have you with us. Thousands of you on today. We appreciate you. Young Justin in the building, Spencer Raxter as well. And again, we're just kind of wrapping it up, man. They ran through the Minnesota Vikings in the second half of that game. Sean, they snatched their soul. They took them apart. It was over. And I'll tell you this. That field goal before halftime was the biggest play of the season. It was the biggest play of the season. I stand on that. And also, too, for the fourth down crowd, I told you this before. I got a buddy of mine. He's an analytics guy for basketball, but he keeps a running tally. Last night, the Detroit Lions on fourth down ended up being a +9. They were +4 when they passed a field goal to go for it, to get a touchdown. They ended up that drive in a touchdown. They were -3 when they passed up a field goal to go for it and got stopped. So that put them at +1. And then the two next times they went for it, they ended up getting touchdowns, as we saw, one of which came on fourth down. So +4, +4. So the kick the field goal crowd last night, you would have gotten 12 points. The go for it crowd got you 21 points.
I don't get involved in those conversations. I just don't, like, if you haven't accepted yet, and we've talked about this many times, if you haven't accepted yet that this is what Dan Campbell does, if you haven't accepted yet that Dan Campbell has actually been one of those transcendent people in that he literally has changed the game, because now you see people going for it on fourth down all the time, including the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, who all of a sudden was playing the Lions games. Neil, the one thing I would have done was the fourth down pass when it was 24-9 and they went to make it 31-9. I would have kicked the field goal there. I would have, because then all of a sudden you're up 27-9 and it's an 18-point game and it's a 3-score game and everything, and it's just like, okay, cool. I would have done it at that point in time, but they didn't. So what I'm saying, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. They got the call. They got it right. They got the play. They got the touchdown game. That's my long-winded way of saying, Neil, I'm not going to argue with you. But in that case, I would have taken the 3. I'm not going to lie. I'm glad they didn't, because it added a little more dirt to that Viking grade. But I hope you understand the logic there. All of a sudden, a 15-point game becomes an 18-point game.
And I was with you on that.
And a game that was already over is now officially
right.
over.
You make it.
I mean?
I will take the field goal when you make a 2-score game a 3-score game.
You got it.
When it crosses the bridge, I will do it then. And
That's
I would have done that last night, but I don't think they were ever going for it.
No.
They were just going to try to draw them off sides, and if they didn't jump, they were going to kick the field goal.
Yep.
But they jumped.
Yeah, I called it multiple times. I thought they were going to do it earlier than that, but they saved it to when they could just end the game. It was a veteran quarterback taking advantage of a aggressive defense.
Yeah,
and they tried to jump the snap, and obviously Jared Goff with the hard count got him into the neutral zone, and it was Harrison Smith too.
Yeah,
it was the
Isn't
veteran.
that amazing?
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's the pressure. We saw their coach, Spenny, you pegged it when it was happening, in the moment it happened in the watch party. They got out of system.
Yep.
They allowed the environment, they allowed the opposition to dictate the terms to them.
From their first drive.
Immediately.
And I legitimately believe that was the plan. That was the intent. Let's see if we can draw them off. And if we get called, so what? We move back 3 yards or 5 yards. I mean, we'll never definitively know, but I'm with you, Spenny. I thought that was the intent. But as it was happening in real time, I was going, oh, no, just kick the field goal right now. Like, you knew at that point in time, we were joking about it before like when it was 17-9, you knew it was over. You know it was over. An 8-point lead. And Viking fans, I bet you all knew it was over. Because Sam Darnold's eyes. I mean, that told me everything I needed to know. And then the Lions were starting to do some things, and then it got away from you quick, fast, and hurry. But this is in their DNA. If you want to waste everybody's time and still have these conversations, go right ahead. But this is part of what has made Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions so successful.
By the way, the Lions they are a plus 23 for the year. Going forward and fourth down. Well, Gromit 0237, it's always fun when it works, but when it bites you in the ass in the most unopportune moment. No, Gromit, see, you're creating that. You're ignoring the math. It's math. It's a certainty. Like gravity keeps you on the ground on planet Earth. That is the math. They are 23 points better off by going for it all season long. You don't question it. It's how they operate. And it works. I gave you the numbers. Like you can't dispute them. There is no, well, it's fun when it works, but it's not. No. There is no debate. This is the system. This is how they play. The math tells you it was 21 points better. So you do not have that luxury of telling me, but there are no inopportune moments. There are none. Am I making sense here? No, Sean.
100%. Overall, it's been a plus for the Lions. End. Like, that's that. Cool.
The problem when you get into doing it is when you do it like the Vikings did it last night, where you go for it here, you go for it there. Oh, shit, it didn't work. Now we got to kick a field goal. And that third time is the time you got to score, and it makes you a +1.
Yep.
Like, what are we talking about here?
I just saw this tweet. This is from Peyton on Twitter. He's a Lions Twitter guy. It says Jahmyr Gibbs' full season pace as running back 1 with no David Montgomery. So it's the 3-game sample size stretched out over a whole season. If he was the RB1, 2,074 rushing yards, 73 catches, 697 receiving yards, 34 total touchdowns.
That's it.
That's arguably the best running back season of all time.
Inarguably. That would by far.
Yeah. Ed, Neil speaks the truth. No, it's math. Like, I'm getting tired of having that debate, too. And I'm weeding them out one by one.
It's real. That's that. I mean,
it's a way they play the game. They give you 4 downs if you so choose to use them.
They are not going to deviate from what has made them successful. And I'll be honest, why the fuck would they now? Look at all the success we've had. Why? Hey, man, everything we've done to get to this point, forget it. This is the playoff time. No, you go with what has gotten you there. And that's what Dan Campbell has done.
Gromit, how'd it feel last year when it didn't work in San Fran? Everyone was crying. That was user error.
Said the exact same thing last year that I would say this year. You know what? The plays were there yesterday.
Yeah.
Goff puts a little touch on that ball. Okay, just a little touch. Just a little touch. You're talking about a massive play.
Mm-hmm.
User error is a perfect way to do it. You didn't execute, right? Reynolds didn't catch a ball. Like the calls were there. You need to execute. So man, if you're still waiting for that to change, you're wasting all of our time. It's not going to change.
Yes. Chuck Brewer, Neil, the doomsday cherry pick only the bad, but ignore the overwhelming numbers.
Exception to the rule.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that'll do it. Heavyweights today, 5 to 7. Shout out Spencer Raxter.
Great
and
job,
Easy.
Justin. Good luck.
We'll be on it.
Thank you. Fuck the Vikings.
FTV, everybody. Thanks, young Justin, for stepping in for Sean Belich, and I'm Neil Rule. Thanks, all of you in the super chats, the chat. Thousands of you watching. We appreciate it. We press on, everybody. I'll be back at it tomorrow. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.